Wow. What's going on, guys? Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com bringing you my review plus on-feet video of another football boot inspired sneaker, this time the Puma Future Avid Netfit. And as you can see, it's an odd looking sneaker to say the least. Certainly not for everybody. It combines the upper of the brand new Puma Future 2.1 in the Illuminate Pack 2018 World Cup colorway with the bottom from the Puma Avid running shoe, and the two combine for what is definitely an interesting look. It's very futuristic, it's kind of wild and out there, and like I said, it's certainly not for everybody. We're going to take a closer look at these in more detail in today's video, including how they fit, feel, and of course look on feet. So if you want to learn more, please stick around, watch the entire video. And if you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, I'll leave a little pop-up on screen, or you can click the first link down below. That'll take you to the review page on my website, where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes. We'll be able to pick these up below their normal $150 retail price. If you guys do end up enjoying the video, don't forget to support it with a like. And if you're new here watching for the first time, don't forget to hit that subscribe button along with the little bell notification for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. Included with the sneakers is this box in colors that I assume are going to be exclusive to this particular colorway. And they also include an extra set of white laces with little green details just to give you another option, which is nice considering that these are casual wear shoes, but they're not as good as SR4U laces. That was a joke, calm down. First things first, let me start with the number one question that always gets asked whenever I do a review of a soccer inspired sneaker, and that is whether or not you can actually use these as dedicated indoor shoes. And normally the answer to that question is no, but with this particular shoe, it's a bit of an exception because they have essentially given you the upper of the top end Puma Future 2.1. Granted, the overall fit and shape of the shoe is entirely different. It doesn't have that super secure locked in feel that you would get from the regular Future 2.1 with the FGAG stud pattern and sole plate. So for that reason alone, I wouldn't necessarily say that this is the best option as far as actually playing in is concerned. Not to mention this Avid running shoe bottom, while it is coming from a performance sneaker, an actual running shoe, it's kind of high off the ground, and again, not really ideal for indoor use just because of how high off the ground it is. It's got a full rubber outsole. You could technically use these as dedicated running shoes. I don't really see any issue with that. But as far as trying to sprint in these and quick changes of direction, you might find that stability isn't going to be the greatest just based on how this shoe is overall shaped, as well as the height of the midsole itself. Honestly, this is geared towards casual wear. You can juggle a ball in them if you really wanted to, but for the most part, buy them to wear them casually. So as you can see side by side with the actual Future 2.1, the uppers are pretty much identical. The only small difference that I could pick out on the surface as far as visual differences are concerned is you can see on the Future 2.1, it actually has some extra fuse over top of this middle part where this pattern ends, and then it's just more green. You can see it's all translucent and it's slightly covered up. You can't use those spots in the Netfit system. Whereas on the sneaker, for whatever reason, I'm not even sure what the logic behind this would be, it is left all exposed. So you do have access to those Netfit positions if you really wanted to use them. I'm not sure why you would go with anything crazy as far as a lacing pattern is concerned, unless you were just trying to make them look kind of cool, because again, this is ultimately designed for casual wear. Everything else about the upper, pretty much the same though. It's the same Netfit system, it's the same mesh base, it's the EvoKnit material here around the collar area. Obviously everyone's gonna have their own opinion on the look of this shoe in general, but honestly, I really like the look of the Puma Future 2.1. This is kind of a weird colorway, this Illuminate Pack one, which is the only one that has released so far. But I have to say that in person, it looks a lot better. This kind of chrome finish they've added right here has this kind of purple and green and blue, almost color changing effect. And then of course you have this little black graphic kind of streaking throughout. Almost looks like lightning. I'm not exactly sure what you would describe it as, but it looks quite cool. This teal color is actually really nice looking in person as well. Obviously the laces, when they're teal on teal, you don't notice them as much. If you went for the white ones that come with the shoes, you'd notice that a lot more. And again, you could kind of create your own fancy patterns there just to make them look that much more unique. Obviously the collar is something that would be kind of unusual as far as sneakers go, but I think that this actually does lend itself pretty well towards casual wear. And then you do have the Future branding and the Puma logo there on the lateral side of the heel. As far as the midsole is concerned, you can see it's solid white in color, and it really does stand out. This is where I think some people are going to have issues with the way that this looks, because it is relatively chunky with this particular upper that's already kind of a bold design as it is, and the fact that they've gone with solid white makes it look that much thicker, especially towards the heel area. Honestly, they look better in person, but again, it's one of those sneakers that definitely isn't for everybody, and I'm curious to see the comments on this video of what people think of these, because this is one of those sneakers that I'm happy I bought. I really do like them, and I will wear them. It's just the amount of opportunities I will have to wear a sneaker like this will be pretty minimal, and that's where I think people are gonna have a hard time justifying the $150 retail price. It's not too crazy, but considering that this is not one of those sneakers that you're gonna buy and wear every single day, at least in this particular colorway, again, I think it makes it kind of a tough sell for a lot of people. But if you're wondering about the midsole itself, it's using their Ignite foam. It feels relatively well cushioned. I wouldn't say that it's anything spectacular. I haven't worn them really all that much, so it's definitely one of those foams that does seem like it could break in over time. But again, for casual wear, just walking around, no issues with it whatsoever. And the fact that it does have a full rubber outsole is something that I like to see as well. It just means that they're gonna last very long and just have good durability about them. So overall, from an aesthetic standpoint, it's a weird looking futuristic sneaker, but I kind of think that that's what Puma was going for. Let me know what you think of it down below in the comments. Not that it matters all that much, because this is, after all, a casual wear sneaker. I know people are gonna ask anyways, how much do they weigh? Well, in a size 10 US that I have right here, they're actually quite heavy. They weigh in at 15 ounces, which for a modern sneaker, honestly is kind of surprising. Do they feel really heavy on your feet? The answer to that, I would say, is no. But for walking around, I personally never really noticed the weight of my shoes, unless I'm wearing some really heavy steel toe boots or something like that, which honestly I pretty much never do anyways. So it's double the weight of the actual Future 2.1 if you're wondering how it compares to that. And again, circling back to whether or not this would be a good option for indoor use, given the fact that it's going to weigh almost twice as much as most indoors out there, it's probably not a great option for you. For casual wear, you're not going to have any issues with the weight, but if you do like the feel of really light sneakers, these aren't really light sneakers. Also, for those wondering, it does have a removable insole with a synthetic suede lining on top, like the boots themselves, but it's an entirely different type of foam. This white, very soft, spongy foam that actually has quite a bit of thickness through the heel and then kind of thins out through the forefoot. Either way, for walking around, the underfoot cushioning is really, really nice. So as you can see, I swapped out the stock green laces for some black reflective SR4U replacement laces, and I like the way the black accents with the black detailing and the chrome on the shoe, but I also think it helps to break up the upper a little bit, because it is kind of an unusual, fairly bulky, clunky looking shoe. So to have that little bit of a breakup, especially with a more unique lacing pattern like I've done here, I think it suits the shoe very, very well. And it sets them apart from everyone else who's gonna have the same pair. Anyways, if you guys are interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. There'll be a little pop-up on screen, as well as a link down below in the description. So if you're interested in a pair, be sure to go ahead and check that out. So on feet, the very first thing that I noticed when I put these on for the first time is that it's much bulkier than I was expecting it to be. Yes, it's technically the same upper as the Future 2.1 boot, but the shape of that upper is completely different. It's much higher volume, it's wider, it's just geared more towards casual wear rather than a tight kind of performance-oriented fit, which I don't really have any issues with. I was kind of surprised at how loose the collar area is. It just doesn't have the same shape and kind of tight wrap around your ankle area like the boots do. Again, not a huge issue, just something I was kind of surprised with based on how similar the upper construction actually is. As far as the Avid midsole is concerned, very high off the ground. You can see it does give the shoe a fairly bulky look as well on feet, but very comfortable. Underfoot cushioning, I would say, is very good. And as far as being able to wear these all day long in pretty much pure comfort, you're not gonna have any issues with that with this particular sneaker. As far as width and sizing is concerned, I ended up going for a 10 just because I was a little bit worried about the 9.5 being too snug for casual wear. Given another chance, I probably would have got them in a 9.5 rather than going half a size up. 9.5 is what I typically wear in most sneakers, but they tend to fit a little bit snug. Because this was based off of the upper of the Future 2.1, I thought it might be wise to go a half size up. Probably not the best decision though, unless you want a slightly roomier fit. If you're looking for a more snug fit, I would recommend going true to size. If you want something a little bit roomier, half a size up in a sneaker is not going to hurt you. Also, as far as width is concerned, these are much wider than the boots themselves and will be suitable for just about anybody. So even if you have wide feet, I expect that these will fit you very comfortably. So in conclusion, while these are kind of weird looking, I really like them for some reason. I know that this is one that's not going to be super well received because of the weird colorway, the teal, the purple, the white. It does look kind of unusual. It's cool because it is the colorway of the 2018 World Cup. It matches the boots that the players are wearing on the pitch, but I'm curious to see what the response is going to be once these come out in more simple colorways. All black, all white, kind of more simple color combos, because I honestly think that this is going to be a really cool looking sneaker in future colorways, no pun intended. Plus the $150 retail price, while not exceptionally cheap, considering the quality of this particular sneaker, honestly, that's not really that bad of a deal. So I'm excited for what the future holds of the Puma Future Avid Netfit. It's kind of a weird sneaker, but I really like them for some reason. Anyways, guys, that is it for my review. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to support it with a like. If you are interested in a pair of these for yourself, again, you can click the first link down below. That'll take you to the review page on my website where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $150 retail price. If you have any questions, as always, leave them down below in the comments, and I'll do my best to get an answer out to you as soon as I possibly can. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information linked down below in the description as well. Other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching.